Ciao, friend. This is Esther, and this is my friend Stefania Camerano. Ciao. I'm so happy to have you on.
Ciao, ciao Esther. Hi everyone. I'm so happy to be here too.
We've talked about her so many times. We even did some Italian classes with Stefania. We're going to talk about everyday life. We're going to talk about the Mafia, maybe some of her recipes, and so much more. First of all, you have two kids, right?
Yes, I have two
Giovanni
kids. And Vivian.
Viviana, and your husband works for the Guardia Fianzata.
Guardia di Finanza, which is finance corps, revenue corps. So he works here, and sometimes he go around Italy.
He's busy.
He's busy.
Your life is very busy. You're a
that's
full-time mom.
And that's the reason why I choose to be a full-time mom.
That's so important too, Stefania, you know, that you chose to spend that time with your children and also dedicate it to your husband.
Yes, I choose to quit my work because when my first son was born, I prefer to stay home with him and grow my son as my mother did with me. So,
what did you do for a job before?
I work at an enterprise, in ICT enterprise, and I was like an account manager with clients. So it was a very interesting job. But when my son came to the world, I choose to be only a mom because be a parent is a mission.
Wow, brava,
it's a mission.
Brava.
And I hope my kids will
And it's
appreciate.
a full-time profession.
Yes, very.
So let's talk about this because you are always busy, super mom, running around, driving kids,
Yes.
picking up, dropping off, cooking, this, that, blah, blah, blah.
Because when you choose to become a full-time mama, everything, every step depends on you. So that's the reason why I'm very busy. So sometimes we see each other at the gym, but I have to run because it's time to cook, time to go and pick up the kids, time for homework, time also for sports, because in Italy, sport is not included in school. So when kids come home, they have lunch at home, and then after a couple of hours, I drive them
synchronized
to
swimming,
boxing, soccer, and extra activity, school activity, and that's the reason I'm a full-time mom.
Brava, brava.
Thank you.
Now, you are married to a Napolitano.
Yes, I am.
And so I want to know how important it is for you to keep Sicilian traditions alive in your home along with the Napolitano.
100%. Because I'm Sicilian, 100% Sicilian, and my kids are half and half, but they have to grow Sicilian. So that's the reason why I cook Sicilian, and above all, I speak Sicilian with them every day.
I was going to ask you that. How important is that to keep the Sicilian?
Very, very important, because Sicilian is our language, is our tradition, is our blood. So they have to understand and speak Sicilian. I always say them, you have to learn Sicilian, you have to use Sicilian when is necessary, because as you know, in Sicily, we speak everyday life, we speak in Italian. So Sicilian is used for between friends or with the ancient people who don't speak Italian very well. So I say always to my kids, they have to learn Sicilian, because many younger don't.
And they don't
know.
teach it in school either.
No. Unfortunately, the school don't teach Sicilian.
It's a suggestion. Nello Zametti, who's the president of the region, has suggested to schools that they teach it, but they're not required. So it's important to keep it at home.
I hope, because during the years, many youngers do not speak Sicilian. So the new generation do not learn Sicilian. So it is
It's
important.
very important to keep that
the
alive.
school keep the tradition alive.
I want to ask you about some of the challenges, and people are watching us all over the world, in the United States, Canada, Australia, even many in Sicily and Italy. What are some of your biggest challenges daily and bigger challenges? We talk a lot about this, about the fire, the trash, the mafia.
For me,
for
Sicily
you,
has a lot of problems, but is the best place to live in. I can live outside Sicily because this Sicily is my blood, is my hair. I can. There's no place like Sicily.
I agree.
With pros and cons. Okay, we have a little bit, a lot of cons.
So what are some of the biggest ones for you, in your view? And
in my
Alfred and
view-
I, by the way, Alfred is still in Boston. He'll be back here in a couple of weeks. So
Ciao, Alfredo.
we miss you, Alfredo, if you're
Yes.
watching this in Boston.
Enjoy, Alfredo.
He's with family. He's
Yes.
enjoying it.
The treasure. Family is the treasure.
Family is number one. I
Yes.
know. So for you, what are some of the biggest challenges?
The jobs, especially for the younger people. Many younger people do not find job easily in Sicily.
Are you worried for your kids?
A little bit because they are in the middle age now, so
They're teenagers.
They are teenagers, but fortunately, the world now is super connected. So if they will go outside for a couple of years, it's different than our grandmothers go away. Now the world is connected, so they can stay here in a few hours or a day of travel, and we can keep in touch. But I hope my kids could stay here and live Sicily all day lifelong. I hope the politicians can do something for the new generation.
What do you think they can do?
They have to create a new job opportunity. They have to collaborate with the university and think about how employ the new the younger in the economics. It's difficult to say how they do. What is the solution?
What they have to do. I have to tell you, one of the things, and I did a documentary many years ago on Singapore and India and several other countries, and one of the things we talked about is how government does a great job in those countries working with the universities, working with the business industry, the health industry, and all other industries, putting them at the same table to understand what new jobs and what the future looks like.
Yes,
we don't do that here.
Yes, because the politicians are always busy with mafia, with trash, with everyday problems.
Fires,
yes,
Etna.
but they have to look at the future. They have to move on.
A bigger vision.
A bigger vision. I hope also younger people can join politics.
We do need some younger generations. And later on, we're going to meet Eduardo, who's the youngest knight here in Italy. And he was 20 years old, and he was running for commissioner in Catena, excuse me. He didn't win, but it was good to see that this younger generation is getting so involved. He's also working for the Protezione Civilis, which is, one of the arms of the government that helps in all types of areas. I want to ask you, you mentioned mafia a few times. What is your view of the mafia today here in Sicily?
The mafia is not the mafia I grew up when I was kids. When I was kids, mafia was violence, was robbery, was killing. Okay, now mafia is white collars. So it's difficult to catch mafia because many politicians, many enterprises are mafia.
Connected, yeah.
Are connected, absolutely. But I think that mafia is part of Sicily identity. So every Sicilian has a little bit of mafia inside is mine. So it's a big problem. But we have to teach our kids to move on, not to deal with compromise. And to choose their way and to fight for their ideals. Okay?
So when you say mafia is in a little bit of everyone's mind, give me a little bit of an example.
For example, when people do not speak about a specific fact. For example, if something happened here in Sicily, you can find people telling you the way the story was or the fact that happened because of fear that someone can.
So fear is always ingrained in you.
Yes.
Fear to tell the truth.
Yes, this is the mafia.
Think mafia should be completely eradicated?
Yes, but it is it's a dream. It can't be eradicated.
Many years mafia has been.
Since the ancient time,
So
maybe.
you said you cook Sicilian, but I know your husband
Yes.
and your kids prefer the Napolitano pizza.
Sometimes I usually cook Napoletano during the holidays.
Because your
My
mother-in-law
teach me how to cook the dish of the tradition. For example, in Easter, during Christmas time, I have to cook Napolitano because my husband wants to come back in the past days. Okay, so I cook casatiello, which is a savory pizza with cold cuts. It's a bomb.
a calorie bomb.
A calorie bomb. I cook also pizza with scarola.
Scalora, that's right. I remember you showed me that.
With the pints, and I
Now
cook
I
also-
know from experience that your daughter is also.
Yes,
Because
she's-
Stefania sometimes does our cooking demos during our tours of Sicily, which, by the way, I got to say this real quick, a quick commercial that we still have some spots in our October 2022, our December 2022, and also we have a grand tour next May, grand tour, and we still have some spots open for 2023. So I had to throw that in there. And Stefania will, of course, you will meet her on all of those. We had a great time
It would be
during
a
our
pleasure for me.
Christmas party, right? You met all
Yeah.
of our guests here. So, okay,
Vivian.
so Vivian,
my
she
daughter,
is so cute when she comes and
she's,
helps.
She's a great assistant, but a superior cooker. She's very good cooker.
Very good cook.
Maybe she's a little bit more Napolitan in this way because she likes to be in the kitchen, experimenting new type of recipe. She cooks and like she plays.
Oh,
She's
I
very
love that.
Yes.
So what are
me
some of
too.
your favorite Sicilian dishes to make?
Absolutely, broccoli affogati.
Ooh, smoked.
Smoked, very.
Give us a quick recipe.
Broccoli. You have to bring broccoli, onion. You have to put onion, broccoli, oil, salt, pepper, and a little bit of red wine in a casserole. You have to cover with a plate and also with a lid, and you have to cook them for about 20-30 minutes. Then you have to
Take out?
take out, and you have broccoli affogati. You can add also black olives.
But you can do that with other vegetables, right?
Yes, with the cauliflower, con cavolfiore.
Ooh, that sounds good. What about other dishes that you make? What's a regular scacciata? Oh, that's right. You are so good with that scacciata.
Also, I make arancini. I make also pasta alla norma, of course.
What do you guys eat every day? Let's say for dinner. What's a regular? Do you guys eat pasta every day?
Yes, at lunch. I prefer they eat pasta at lunch with a second course, which is always meat or fish. And for dinner, we always have a second course with contorno.
So a second course meaning a meat, a fish, or something like that.
Or also rice, or also a big salad stuffed with everything, tuna, tomatoes, mozzarella, onion. We all, of course, we have bread.
Of course. We have to do a recipe with Stefania for sure very soon. All right. Going out to do a little bit of errands. I'm going to walk down to get a little bit of exercise. And yes, on the way down, it's super, super fun. We live up there somewhere. All right, now I'm going to take you down here. It's the little corner over here I love. I come here almost every other day probably. There's the ortofrutta of Graziella and Francesca. You guys have seen them before. Even did a scacciata making recipe a few years ago. And here's Francesco and Eduardo's, the little lunch place. And right next to it is a little bread place. So I'm going to take you inside each one of them just so you have a little peek over here at everyday life in Sicily.
Ciao Esther, come stai? Ah, guarda che bello.
Bene.
Sempre più bella.
Buongiorno, Francesco.
Nice.
All right, this is the Eduardo, the famous, the youngest knight in Italy.
Hi, nice to meet you.
And he's also working at his dad's place. Andiamo in dentro?
Prego, otherwise.
Everyone's eating inside because it's too hot.
The good ice cream?
No, gelato. See, this is like a one-stop shop. I can get my bread, my ice cream, my vegetables. They also have some lunch stuff. Buongiorno, signora. Pasta. Che sono?
Cotoletta, riso,
Insalata.
arancino,
Oh, there we go. Burro.
burro or ragu,
c'è l'uomo che non
or with them, prosciutto.
Com'è arancino?
Ragù,
Sì, ma come loro?
buonissimo,
Loro fanno bene?
benissimo. Tocca l'anniversario.
quello è burro. Com'è?
Come burro. This is the butter one.
E poi ci dice com'è.
Fantastic? Wow, there you go, Francesco. Now I'm going to show you his shop. This was his old shop. He used to sell junk. Well, not junk, everyday stuff that was useful, you know, so if you needed anything, even pads, notebooks, pens, pencils, ceramics, even some household items. And then he figured out that he wanted to go back to his love, which was cooking and baking. And his son Eduardo here and his wife now also work here. Piace lavorare qui?
Sì,
Perché?
è bellissimo, perché incontro persone nuove,
Because he
tanti
meets new
amici di
people,
tutto il mondo.
friends from around the world. E da dove? America.
America, Australia, Cina, Francia, Germania, da tutto il mondo.
Buono. E tu che vuoi fare per lavoro dopo?
Io vorrei aprire dei ristoranti fuori dall'Italia
Fuori dall'Italia? Ma perché non qui?
e qui non mi piace molto l'Italia.
Wow, he wants to open up a restaurant outside of Italy. What a treasure this guy is, let me tell you.
Sono lasciate aperto perché sono calde.
Even brioche. My preferred drink is a macchiato, which is an espresso with a little bit of milk, I put a little bit of sweetener and always a glass of acqua frizzante. Little pick-me-up here. Here's the panificio. Always something cool here. Let's see what they have. They have the lunch stuff here. Those are little crunchy pizzas. Normal pizzas. Roasted eggplant. Pasta alla norma. Buongiorno signora.
Questi sono biscotti al pistacchio fatte da noi per produzione nostra. Anche biscotti questi di qua alla monaca sono fatti nostri, questi con i semi.
Sesame,
Tutto
that's one of my
produzione nostra.
favorites. E pane come chiama
Questo
questo?
è pane bianco,
White bread,
questo è il pane di semola,
semolina.
poi invece sono le schiacciatelle e abbiamo anche il pugliese.
Scacciatella is my favorite. It's very, if you put it in the oven for about 2 minutes before serving it, it's so crunchy.
Poi facciamo anche i gelati, tutto produzione nostra.
They make their
Questi
homemade
sono
gelato.
gelati, produzione nostra.
All local, look at that. And tiramisu. And there's the minuzzi di San Agata and the famous cannolo.
E poi abbiamo anche la tavola calda, perché facciamo anche gastronomia.
I'm just gonna let her talk.
Pasta al forno,
Tavola
la pizza
calda.
secca, tavola calda, l'altra in produzione perché è già finita. Poi abbiamo le cipolle, peperoni arrosto,
Onions, peppers, the dried pizza, tavola calda. Let's see
le
what we have.
nostre patate al forno, intere, e il nostro couscous.
Grazie mille.
Prego.
Per me 2 pane con sesamo.
Tu due ok, grazie.
You know, we talked a little bit about the mafia and so forth. Stefania, can you please explain to me this trash issue here in Sicily?
It's a big deal because mafia is inside the trash system. So that's the reason why it's a big deal. But also it's a big deal because people are dirty. So sometimes you will see trash
on the streets, and we've
street.
talked about this a lot.
It's,
So can you go a little bit deeper when you say the mafia is involved? What does that really mean? They're involved because they're involved with the politicians, they're involved with the companies that take care of the trash.
Yes, they are involved. Companies are involved with the government because in trash, as regards trash, there are a lot of capital. The region, and also the state, the government, the central government give to the region a lot of money. So many companies are white collar, are cooperation with the mafia. And to take this capital, okay?
So they take the capital, but they don't do anything with the trash.
A little bit, but there is another problem. In Sicily, we don't have a center in which the trash is handled. We send the trash outside.
Well, also they send it to Lentini.
and
Now in Trapani.
And when the Sicily
And the Lentini is now full.
is full,
Now.
they send the trash outside. So we pay a lot of money to
take the trash out.
away.
I mean, it's an environmental and health hazard, you know, a lot of it.
Trash has been a problem.
It's the same story every year.
Yes. Since I was kids.
Well, it's some
When
some
I
of
was
it has
kids,
to do that it's an
trash
island.
was everywhere.
But would you say things are improving? I know when I first
Yes,
got here,
yes.
they weren't even doing recycling.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks to recycling, things
changed.
are improving because you can see the trash bin along the way. So
Things are improving, for sure.
important.
Anya, here's something else. Plastic here is just way overused. You go to the Lido, you go to a restaurant, they serve you things in plastic cups, you know but wait a second, also the plastic plates, the bottles. In America, if you buy a liter of Coke, a big one, you get 10 cents back if you return it for recycling. So you've got 10 bottles of Coke, you make $1.
That's a good idea. That would be a solution for plastic.
Yeah.
But for plastic, things are improving since the European Union
outlawed. I still see plastics using everywhere.
But less.
And also, it's terrible for the water. You know, I often talk about plastic-free Sicilia. They're going around the island, small little steps. All right, we're going to have Stefania on again for sure. So I want you to leave some comments about what you would like to hear from Stefania next, because she is full of great ideas, great thoughts, and a beda, a quintessential, beautiful Sicilian.
Thank you. You are better too. You are an Hungarian Sicilian better.
Listen, I want you to say one final word to our friends.
Ciao a tutti, è stato un piacere. It was a pleasure for me being here with Esther. Sorry for my mistakes.
Your English is beautiful.
Thank you. I have to improve every day my English.
Well,
and you
we had
give
to,
me the opportunity to improve my English.
Okay, when the camera's turned off, we're going to only speak Italian for the next half hour, okay? All right. Thank you so much for spending this time with us, and we'll see you on another video of You, Me, and Sicily. And if you've enjoyed it, please do us a favor, hit the like, maybe share it with a friend. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Ciao, amici.
Arrivederci.
Ciao, arrivederci. Ciao.
And as Alfred would say, San benedica.
Sa benedica.
Ciao.